Here's the thing about venture capital. It doesn't just fund companies, it funds narratives. And Monarch Tractor had the most compelling narrative Silicon Valley had seen in years. Picture this, it's 2018. You have Mark Schwager, a former top executive at Tesla's original gigafactory. You have Carlo Mondavi, a fourth-generation wine grower and grandson of the legendary Robert Mondavi. They were building the world's first fully electric, AI-guided, autonomous tractor, the MKV. It was supposed to revolutionize agriculture, to be the Tesla of tractors. And the money came flooding in, a total of $240 million. A single funding round in July 2024 brought in $133 million alone, valuing the company at $518 million. Then Time magazine called it one of the greatest inventions of 2023. Forbes put it on their next billion-dollar startups list. The narrative was bulletproof. The founders had the credentials, the tech sounded revolutionary, and the money was real. What could possibly go wrong? This is where the story gets uncomfortable. In early 2024, a dealership in Idaho named Burke's Tractor got their hands on 10 of these machines. And something didn't add up. The tractors couldn't do what they were promised to do. They couldn't operate autonomously, not outdoors, not indoors, not anywhere really. Think about that for a second. The core feature, the entire reason farmers were supposed to buy these things, didn't work. It's like buying a self-driving car and discovering it only works on Tuesdays in a parking lot. Burke's Tractor had paid $773,088 for these 10 machines. They financed the purchase, so they were still paying interest on equipment that couldn't perform its main function. Months went by with no support, no fixes, no solutions, just silence. Eventually, they sued. Monarch denied the allegations in court, but the damage was already done. The narrative had cracked. Once the autonomous tech started failing, everything else fell apart in rapid succession. It was like watching a house of cards collapse in real time. First, in August 2025, Foxconn, the company manufacturing the tractors, sold its Ohio factory. Just like that, Monarch lost its manufacturing partner and its ability to scale. Ironically, that factory is now being renovated into an AI data center. The place that was supposed to build the future of farming will now be used to train AI models. Then came more lawsuits from other customers with problems. By November 2025, company leadership was sending memos warning of over 100 layoffs and a potential shutdown. The memo stated that the business plan put Monarch at risk of shutting down entirely. By March 2026, the final domino fell. The Livermore headquarters was abandoned, the R&D facility was empty, and nearly 100 local workers were gone. When you realize your core product doesn't work, what do? If you're Monarch Tractor, you pivot. Hard. In late 2024, the company announced it would stop focusing on making and selling tractors. Instead, they would become a software company, licensing their autonomous technology to other manufacturers. It's a classic business move. If your hardware fails, sell the software. Licensing offers higher margins, and it's easier to scale. And the numbers tell the story. By 2025, over 70% of Monarch's revenue was coming from licensing, not tractor sales. The tractors weren't selling because they weren't working. But a pivot like this takes time, money, and a functioning organization, all things Monarch no longer had. They had a failed product, a lost manufacturing partner, and multiple lawsuits. Even co-founder Mark Schwager, the executive from Tesla, left the company in July 2025. The pivot wasn't a salvation. It was a Hail Mary that came up short. The story of Monarch Tractor exposes something important. It reveals a systemic gap between the world of venture capital and the world of real customers. In the boardroom, the pitch was perfect. You had a Tesla pedigree, a Mondavi legacy, AI-powered farming, and a $518 million valuation. From a conference room on Sand Hill Road, this looked like the future. But out in the field, literally, none of it worked. The tractors sat motionless, dealers were stuck paying for equipment they couldn't sell, and farmers got a product that couldn't even drive itself. This is venture capital's dirty secret. The incentive is often to fund the narrative, not to validate the technology. Monarch didn't build for farmers, they built for investors. And investors, unlike farmers, don't need the tractor to actually move. But you can't fake a harvest, and in the end, that's exactly what caught up with them. If this story resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to Business Undercurrent. We cover the business stories that don't make the front page, but absolutely should. Thanks for watching.